When you interrupt someone,
I feel like I should interrupt you.
when you interrupt. Damn it!
Not as easy as it looks, huh?
Well, I'm like trying not to smile. I'm saying when you interrupt somebody.
Welcome to our Film Fathers podcast, the definitive podcast about fatherhood, film, and fatherhood in film. This is Jelani, and with me as always are a dreamboat who likes incongruity and the greatest gunsmith east of the Mississippi, Martin and Brady.
When you interrupt somebody like that, it makes them feel that you're just not interested in what they have to say. Or maybe you think what you have to say is just more important than what I have to say. Is that what you think?
I don't think you understand. These boys killed my dog.
This week, we're diving into the thrilling world of movies about guys who are good with a gun. From the meticulous precision of The Accountant to the action-packed revenge factor of Shooter. These two films give us two very different approaches from two of the most popular actors of our generation, and what they can do as hired help. Who would you hire?
I think I'd go Affleck.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what you want, right?
He's got a much wider skill set.
Correct.
In The Accountant.
Yeah.
He does, but we didn't see if he could survive gunshot wounds with sugar and a bottle of water.
Sure.
I'm sure he could. I'm sure he'd
And
find a way to survive.
And some cans of Whippets.
They teach that in Indonesia.
And Wahlberg, I feel like his skill was just unnatural, just supernatural in that in the Shooter.
Well, you
Someone's got to be the best.
right.
I mean, he's on a boat. He's making shots with
22 rifle.
right, the 22 caliber rifle.
Pea shooter.
He's doing Have you guys ever
Poodle
fired a
shooter.
22?
No.
Yeah, it's basically like a BB gun. It's like
I have fired a 22. I actually have 22s because that's what you use when I built the office in the basement
Yeah.
to nail the studs to the floor.
Used what?
There's it's like a hammer drill, and
Okay.
what you do is you put the nail in there, put it on the stud, and then you put a 22 bullet, and then you slam it with the
Yeah,
hammer,
I've
and
used
then
those
it
before. I know what you're talking about.
shoots it down into the concrete.
That's not really a 22 caliber gun, though. You're talking about a nail gun.
Yeah.
Nail
I'd
gun.
say
It's a 22.
With the same charge.
No, I think
Same-
it's safe to say you don't have a 22. Nor have you shot
I
a
fired
22.
a 22 caliber rifle, and yes, it is very much like a BB gun. It just doesn't feel that.
I don't even know what I've shot. I shot a one, but I don't even know what it was, to be honest. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah.
But that
these-
being said, I love a good shooter movie.
yeah, these were both really fun to watch this week. I
Why?
think
Why do we love a good shooter movie?
What is it about the male demographic that is?
It's more of the. I think when we were talking about The Killer, I heard someone say of that movie the competency porn. I think that's more of this. Like you just like seeing guys
Excellence?
being really
Really good at
excellence.
something.
Like the accounting part of the accountant when he's in that room and he's figuring it all out and he needs.
That's
to
where
finish.
Martin got it.
Martin's like coming off the couch.
He's like, hold on now. Lindsay, I'm going to need you to step out. He's got these red markers and the black markers.
I'm envisioning.
Oh yeah, come on, Affleck.
I'm envisioning
Those numbers.
I'm envisioning the Jack Nicholson gift from The Departed. He's just nodding like Martin, just really soaking it all
He
in.
went back how many years?
He's
15
Oh,
years?
he's right on the glass.
Exactly, he's writing on the glass.
You were so hung up on that. You just told me to have my kids right on my glass.
Well, he's Brady's got a nice big glass window that's perfect to write
It's like
on.
perfect for writing on.
It's like you
Give
showed
me
the
some
kids
dry
right on that.
erase.
I was like, we use it to look out.
Now, but Jelani's the one who had Anna Kendrick in that movie, so
That's true. I did. It reminded me.
I forgot
should-
that she was in it.
You should tell. I guess. Yeah, you can just say
that I'm a fan of Anna Kendrick and nobody else understands why.
You're a big.
I understand why.
I think no.
Brady just doesn't like how highly you place her.
You consider her very. You're very fond of her, and I more so than I think is probably reasonable. But
Warranted.
to each their own, for sure.
Yeah.
I totally forgot she was in it. I've only seen this movie once before. I'm pretty sure on your
Same.
guys' recommendation like a couple of years ago,
Yeah,
and
I
I was
think-
like, why did I sleep on this
I
movie?
think
It's
I-
so good.
Yeah, I think the name. I think
Boring name.
I think it just doesn't sell it. I don't even know if it's poorly named, to be honest.
Right. It's not bad.
Pretty spot on.
Very descriptive. Very descriptive title in both of these movies.
But I just think it is. I think I had the same. I don't think I watched it like. I definitely didn't go to like the theater, but I think when I finally rented it, I was like, oh shit, that was better than I expected, and
Yeah, that's exactly right.
wasn't because of Anna Kendrick, but it was,
But she was good. Yeah,
she's the person in it.
I like her character.
She
Believable. It's believable that he'd want to save her.
She looks like she's an accountant.
But there is something about having the Airstream. Like, I fucking love Airstreams. I would totally want.
I didn't know this about Martin, but that totally checks out.
It totally checks out, right? I always wanted to convert one and just make a food truck out of an Airstream trailer. But his is just so perfect that he's got
It's
a Pollock in there,
suitable
and a Renoir.
for one person.
Right. Yeah, it's perfect.
Preferable even.
He had that motorcycle in there that he apparently never used.
I
'cause
kind of wait.
Where?
There was a motorcycle
all the way in the back. There was
Oh.
like a really high tech motorcycle in back where he had his
Is
armory.
it like the Batmobile?
I was like, was it the Batman's?
the Batcycle?
I know I couldn't. So in that of his collections, you said you touched on the paintings, Johnny. I'm sure you might have perked up when you saw the comic,
the
books.
Action Comics,
the
along
Action
with the
Comics
baseball cards.
episode 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is that? Is that like a
So Action
famous-
Comics is DC,
DC.
basically. So
It was the introduction of Superman.
That's what I was gonna
Superman,
say.
he had the introduction of Green Lantern, he had the introduction of Aquaman.
But the Action Comics one, number one,
The number one, yeah.
is, and there was a little note about it, like, people probably think it's weird that was included along with, like, Honus Wagner's baseball card, which is the most valuable baseball card there is. Obviously, all those things in there were super valuable in some way. Gold bars, the money's obvious. That Action
gold
Comics
bars are valuable?
depends on, actually, I haven't checked the market lately, but Action Comics number 1, from 1938, in mint condition, which it would have been, is valued at over $4 million.
That's so wild.
Which I thought, here's my qualm. He just grabs it and tosses it in his backpack, which would essentially come close to ruining the mint condition if you
It
are
was
not.
still wrapped up.
But you're tossing it in a duffel bag.
Yeah, but
There's no form and structure to keep that thing. You damage a corner.
this is true.
That ain't mint.
This is true. I would.
You would think it would be,
in like a hard case.
But maybe that's why he was taking it. Maybe because he really just loves it. He doesn't really care about the value of it. It's more just.
Well, no, I think he took it for the value. It was
You think so?
$4 million on the fly.
yeah,
Easiest way to carry.
right.
I guess, but
That's
it's
how
hard
he
to
moves the
move. That
money.
is not liquid.
You got to know a guy.
He's got to. Yeah, you got to. You can't just move that. I know.
He knows a guy who's got Inca matrimonial headmasks. That's how he moves them.
What is that from?
Ocean's 11.
Okay,
Deep pull.
deep pull. That's why we had to call it out. I don't know if the audience is going to grab it.
Neither of us did.
But yeah, this is it's a very solid guy being very competent movie.
Yeah, well, and I think, but on top of that, you're also bringing in like the autistic aspect of society. I mean, they touch on kind of that whole idea, which I think was probably. I don't want to pretend to know how unique that is in terms of like portrayal in movies.
Yeah.
So Jen and I watched this together because I wanted her.
Mary watched too. She had never seen it.
Okay. Jen had seen it before, but I wanted her insight as a behavioral analyst to understand kind of like.
And Mary, and I forgot truthfully the autistic part. I remember that he had a little like something to him, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
I just didn't remember. She works with an autistic kid every day. That's
Yeah.
that's her job. So same thing. I think in the moment I didn't ask her, but I was like, oh shit, like this could actually be more interesting to her than if it was just a random like hitman type guy.
Yeah, and so one of the things that I was talking to Jen about, because when individuals are on the spectrum, and I don't know if they even use the term on the spectrum anymore, but like
I think you do.
Do we still do?
Yeah, I think so.
All right.
The proverbial. They do.
There's the hyper focus on certain things. So like in
I think
the
it's
80s,
ASD, autism spectrum disorder. I think is the
So,
thing.
like
Say
in
that.
the 80s, the parody was always, the kid who likes trains or dinosaurs. But like there are individuals who are on the spectrum and they love sports, so they know everything about sports, and like that is more socially acceptable. In this case, obviously his was numbers and finishing problems and things like that. So he became an accountant, being able to find where money goes and where it ends, and being able to zero out everything. The other
and shoot really well.
well, yeah, and then that's again the precision and making sure that you finish the task. The other thing that I didn't understand was individuals on the spectrum often do have the OCD tendencies that he showcased.
Yeah.
Like when he was separating
silverware,
and then the breakfast or the meal. I don't know if it wasn't breakfast, but making sure that he had those all set.
Sure felt like breakfast for dinner.
Right. Thought about doing that tonight, but never got around to it.
Eggs are always acceptable for me.
Yeah. Scrambled over easy.
Ooh, over easy for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Runny yolk.
If I want to know like a burger for sure, like obviously I love that. I love that sometimes, not even always, but yeah, breakfast wise, if I don't make an egg sandwich, it's a fried egg, then I'm scrambling him for. I think that I love Old Faithful.
I'm
never
not
got
turning
over
down
it.
scrambled eggs either. but-
Yeah,
I felt like Christian kind of displayed a little bit of Bob Parr from The Incredibles in that scene when he's talking to the farmer, and he's like, "Oh, did you make that stuff at home? Do you sell those?" Like, kind of giving like, "Hey, this could be a home business. Like, here's," and then he's like, "Oh, how big is your dining room?" He's like, 200. He's like, up.
Mary laughed out loud when he was
great
like,
scene.
"So you took the company vehicle?"
Yeah, trying to help them out,
Yeah, which is interesting because I think maybe it would go against norm or against type or stereotype of someone with that
on the spectrum.
affliction. What are we? I don't know how to describe.
Yeah, I would
But
say
just that you think you'd be a rule follower?
Well, but then you're also like that's almost like a personnel like reach,
empathetic.
Yeah, empathetic reach across to someone, which would seemingly go against what I think I know about like.
No, I think it's
autistic.
more that he knows the tax law really, really well.
That's what we've been looking for.
Exactly.
We're looking for a guy.
And just
ZZZ
as part
accounting.
part of his thing is that he wants to be able to find the interesting things, interesting ways to do it. It's still a very legal way to do it.
Do you think it was that, or do you think that it's part of like, as he was growing up, obviously his dad's way of trying to get him to fit into society
He needs more of it, not less.
Yeah, was more of it. So do you think maybe that
Wrong.
was his effort to try and connect with people, even though he doesn't really care to connect with people? Like you
Right.
see when he talks to the secretary at the end,
Well, at times he does. He came to that with
Anna Kendrick.
Anna Kendrick and went blank there. But so it's obviously not everybody. He definitely at times has no interest whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I think you see that shell cracked and vulnerable and open to kind of some of those relationships that, again, I think are against the stereotype, but clearly he isn't completely oblivious to.
Yeah.
Should we have paired this movie with Good Will Hunting? They're both writing on chalkboards and glass. Both good with numbers.
It's literally all Martin's thinking about.
He can't get past it.
Did we think Affleck how did we think he did, I guess, portraying an autistic, I'm not that we, are the experts on the subject matter, but I mean, it was evident, I would say.
I think it was a good performance. It wasn't,
Yeah, I think it was
I think it was
believable.
pretty solid.
Well, the reason I ask is so he stated that it's one of his personal favorite, one of his top 5 personal favorite performances. I can tell you the other 4, but my question is, what do you think are Affleck's top 5 performances? And we don't need to go in any particular order per se, but do you think this is on it? Do you think...
Performances or movies?
Well, let's go performances and then we'll go movies. So how do you think, from his standpoint, him actually acting, what are your favorite Affleck performances? No order, doesn't matter.
Phantoms, Reindeer Games, Dogma.
Hating on you. He's just hating on you.
No,
Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
I know. I don't know. I really don't. There are a couple performances I think he did a good job in The Way Back. I think he was.
That's on my list. That's on my top 5.
Yeah, I think he was really good in Gone Girl. I think that was just. See, and that's the thing. Like, he's been in movies, and I like the movies he's been
Well,
in more.
you understand I'm asking for the top
I know.
and then the top 5
I know.
movies.
We'll get
So,
to the movies.
Just
but-
explaining.
Yeah, this is
But yeah, so it's hard for me to truly decipher some. I don't know.
I'd put
Toss it to you, Martin.
Yeah, I'd put Gone Girl on my performances. I brought up Good Will Hunting for a reason because that's also on my top performances for him. Boiler Room,
I got Boiler Room.
yeah, just because he was very, very
It's
short.
like 2 minutes.
It's the Alec Baldwin character and
Act as
Glengarry
if.
Glen Ross. What?
He says, "Act as if."
Act as if, yeah. Second place is a set of steak knives. So Boiler Room as a performance. Argo, I remember enjoying, but I've only seen it once, and
Same here.
I remember him doing really well, but it's not like my favorite movie, so I'll put that in there. And then State of Play, I really love that movie, but I love the show better.
Yeah, we talked about
But I also
that.
feel like he did a good job there too, so I put it in there. But there's only a few overlap with my top
So
movies.
I like for performances. So I had Boiler Room, and I thought I was going to be the only one because it is such a very small
yeah.
cameo for him. I put The Town because I think he's really good in that movie, and he's exactly what I want him to be in that. I put this. I think The Accountant. I think that is. I would agree. It is one of his best actual performances. Jelani's saying The Way Back. Really good job. And then I, not terribly far from that, is a movie I put The Tender Bar, which is more recent as well.
I've not seen it, I don't think.
I don't know if it was a Prime original.
I think it was.
Yeah.
That explains it.
Yeah, I know you don't have Amazon Prime, so you couldn't have seen that. But
Just if it goes straight to Amazon Prime, there's very few movies that I'll...
open your Prime app. That's what I'm saying. It's out there. We all got Prime. So yeah, that's my other one, and
I
definitely
gave the Tomorrow War a shot. I remember that movie, but not
yeah,
really.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
But
was gonna say.
so those were my 5. All right, Jelani. So how about this? How about you give me your favorite movies?
I'll give you my favorite movies then.
Your favorite top 5 Affleck movies.
So, The Town, Gone Girl, The Way Back, Triple Frontier,
Nice.
and The Accountant.
Nice. I have 2 others that I haven't been mentioned in my top 5 movies, and it's Dazed and Confused and Chasing Amy. Love those movies. And he's also small role. Well, he's big role in Chasing Amy, but
Yeah.
small role in Dazed and Confused. But love that movie, so it's got to be in my top.
I almost put Mallrats on mine.
I love
because
Mallrats
just
too.
love
That's
Mallrats.
honorary mention for sure.
But I did not. I went with Goodwill. In my opinion, hard to say that that's not one of his
Yep.
best movies. I put Dogma on there, and I will say it's been a while, but I saw that a bunch when it came out, and I really liked it. Maybe my perception
Perception, perspective.
Perspective.
has changed.
It's a good portmanteau.
But I put Dogma, The Town again because I
Yeah, The Town's in mine,
love
too.
that movie.
Yeah.
Argo I put as the movie. I don't remember his performance being anything spectacular, but I do remember liking the general movie. And
I think he
obviously
directed it too, right?
He did.
Yeah.
And that's where I think he won an Oscar for that. Definitely nominated. And then I put Gone Girl, and we just obviously did that movie not long ago, and so I think those were my favorite of his movies. So only The Town is the only crossover I had for that. And I would agree, Johnny, The Way Back I think is very, very good, but I just had a hard time putting it above any of the other stuff.
Sure.
But
Honorary mention for Air.
yeah, I thought about it. I don't know if
Yeah.
I
As a
loved him.
maybe some recency bias.
I liked
for me.
Air. I don't know if he had much
Yeah.
to do with
Yeah,
it.
you're right. I'll agree with that.
Did you guys? I don't know if you guys read the notes. On,
The book?
Did not read the book. But
There's
I think it's a graphic novel
Of The Accountant?
for the accountant.
Didn't
Maybe.
know that.
I didn't know that. I didn't see anything. I was joking.
Oh no. I was gonna say the donation that he was given.
I did.
It's $1,100,000.
Yeah.
And that is the binary equivalent for 68. And the director of the center said 1 in 68 children have autism or diagnosed with autism. So I was like,
Yeah, that was a nice touch.
ingenious. Yeah.
Yeah, what did you guys think of the ending, that little reveal? I
Yeah.
kind of forgot about it.
Yeah, I don't.
I knew there
think-
was something to.
I don't
some
love
kind of
it.
Twist. You don't love it.
I think it's fine if it's like a gloss over, and if you don't think about it too much, then sure. But I think I have a hard time with her being dialed in to like everything that's happening evil in the world, and like it's one thing to be involved with, I guess, coordinating Affleck's
Sure.
movements and jobs and whatnot, but like I don't know. I feel like if you start peeling layers there, it stinks.
Yeah.
Is that George Costanza? It's like an onion.
Well, do you remember that this was kind of the same idea that the Predator called out too? Remember the sun being on the spectrum, and then the Predator was like, he's the one that's going to be the evolution.
Oh, the Predator.
Yeah,
The Predator.
Sorry,
The one that
when
only
you
I
say
liked.
Predator, I just
No, he
my
said
mind,
the Predator.
I know,
Yeah.
but when you say the word Predator,
Yeah.
my mind goes to Predator.
You go to
No.
88.
There is one, and then there are other movies that are made about the Predator.
I don't know. I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Why. I think I was the only one when we did it, when we talked about it. You're the guy. You like, what's his name? Hal Holbrook?
I do.
Boyd.
Boyd.
Boyd Holbrook.
I do like Hal Holbrook.
He's the old guy, right?
He's an old guy.
The Firm,
No,
right?
Boyd Holbrook.
The Firm. He's also
Yes.
in that movie In the Wild.
Got so speaking of older gentlemen, there's always money in the banana stand.
Oh, I said the same thing.
Yeah,
My
Jeffrey
God.
Tambor.
Dude, you see Tambor in jail in the prison? Come on,
No
now.
touching.
No touching. Exactly.
How could I make it any clearer? There's always money in the banana stand.
How could you put him in a movie in prison? It is everyone's mind will leave that scene and go to Arrest. If it doesn't, you haven't watched Arrested, and you should. Oh gosh! If you don't know what we're talking about, you need to watch Arrested Development.
It's on Netflix, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, that's so funny you said that. I had the
The
exact
amount of
same.
times I say both those lines, the banana stand and
No touching?
Oh, it's just
I just
so
hear
many-
no touching.
Yeah. Those are exact notes I wrote down as soon as you popped down the screen. I was like, there's always money in the banana stand. No touching.
We I don't want to miss it because it was actually a great call out, and they actually circled back to it later. I loved the visually how they did it, but also the upside down Ali puzzle in the beginning.
Yeah.
I loved the way they shot that, like seeing it the picture that everybody knows,
Yeah.
and then seeing that last piece go in, and then getting the callback later and it's on the wall. I just thought that was awesome. Like just a random detail that they did, I found really like that they just crushed.
Guys, I'm starting to think that John Bernthal might just be a bad guy. Like every time I see him pop up, he's a bad guy.
We talked about him last week.
Yeah, he's got heart though.
You didn't like it in Sicario when he took the heel turn.
Well, no, I mean,
No, he said it. I think that was part of our.
Yeah, I did. I wasn't a
He's
fan
like,
of
I
him
didn't
being-
like
you
it.
weren't. Yeah, I'm not a kid. He was a bad guy. I knew him as Shane. He's freaking pure evil.
Yeah. But then in this one, he comes around.
There's some
because-
heart in there.
Right.
It's weird. I mean, I think you. In fact,
I really liked that.
that actually, Mary actually said she didn't really like the movie. The next day, she was like, I was thinking about it. I didn't really like that movie. She's like, but I did kind of like the end, how the brothers came together.
So great when he's like, "Yeah, I missed you too." So-
And that's
He's like, you could have reached
Oh,
out to me. He's
find
like,
you.
I knew where you were.
that's a trait of the director, Gavin O'Connor, because he also did the same thing in Warrior,
Warrior.
where
Oh,
the
yeah.
two brothers end up fighting each other at
Right.
the very end.
Huh.
So
didn't realize that was the same guy.
there's
same
there's
director.
another movie he has again with brothers who are in conflict. But I was looking through his IMDb and I was like, he hasn't done a ton of movies. But then I looked and like Miracle was like his first big breakout, and then
That's
Warrior.
a Kevin Kent special.
Right, for
He loves
sure.
Miracle.
But then he was involved with The Americans.
Okay.
He was an executive
Love.
producer of The Americans, and then Mayor of Easttown.
Okay.
So
Mayor.
Mayor of Easttown, because
Yeah.
that I'll bring that back up.
Horror.
But then, and then lastly, just because I had to get in there, shout out to the Western Suburbs, Naperville,
Oh, yeah?
Aurora,
Plainfield?
Plainfield,
Oh, he was in
Illinois.
Plainfield. Yeah.
That's where they lived. Anna Kendrick went to Naperville North.
Oh, is that what they said that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see. I
Well,
didn't hear
did they
that part.
say? I don't think they said Naperville North.
they said Naperville North.
You would know, but
I believe you. I'm surprised I missed that. What part?
I remember her saying she was from Naperville. I don't remember saying North.
I do. I
She
do-
was on
yeah,
the math team
Yeah.
at Naperville North. And then they called out just like the Best Western or Holiday Inn in Aurora instead of whatever hotel they stayed
She
in.
said that because she's like, you could get nice stuff. Yeah, you can get
Yeah.
Right.
So just again, and the funniest part is none of this was shot in Illinois.
No.
So
I mean, you're not new to this. You
No,
get it. You
I know.
get it. Like,
Midwest, there's no distinguishing features.
they shoot
You're in
where
Nebraska, you're in Iowa,
Yeah.
you're in Illinois.
they shoot where it's
all
cheap,
the same.
where
Right.
they get the tax credits, and that's typically Atlanta.
Atlanta, exactly where they shot it all.
I had to look up who Solomon Grundy. I didn't.
that nursery rhyme or whatever.
Yeah, the
I never heard
reciting
of
of
it
that,
either.
I was unfamiliar. I was like, oh, is this something I'm missing?
It's a DC character. Come
It's
on,
a
it's
zo-
a foe of Batman.
A zombie whose life is structured around rhyme in the DC comics.
Yep,
No idea.
So his name is Solomon Grundy?
Solomon
Okay.
Grundy.
All right.
Yeah,
Of course,
I don't.
because Affleck played Batman.
I don't think that's why this was happening at this point. But
But he was obviously a fan of comic books we mentioned before. DC for real. Okay, that's good. It's a good tie-in.
yeah, no idea. I wasn't sure. The note that to tie back to another film we did here before we move on, the martial art mainly on display is a variety of Indonesian pencak silat, which is also seen in
The
The Raid Redemption.
Oh, nice. Some very good fight scenes in
Yeah.
this movie. Yeah.
So it was good. Honestly, I enjoyed it. I don't like love the movie by any means, which is not something I can say about this next movie because I love Shooter.
Oh, you love Shooter more.
I love Shooter more.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Shooter. Have been for a long time. Still a fan. Nothing changed.
Yeah,
They're,
it's so good.
They're probably about even to me, but I think I might enjoy The Accountant more. I've only seen both of them.
Well, they
Twice.
don't write on glass in this movie.
Right. There's no airstreams.
Yeah. He's not a genius.
It's missing all this stuff. It's just a Peckerwood in the hills. Martin can't handle that life.
But I do really like that. The first time I remember seeing it on an airplane, probably back in 07 or whenever it came out. 08.
I definitely like this movie more than it deserves.
That's fair. I'm picking up on that.
Yeah, I just for whatever reason this just hit with me, and I have always really loved it. Johnny, I think you're on the same wavelength.
Absolutely. Like this is definitely like a TNT special too, where you like
Definitely.
if it's on, I'm like, all right, I know where I'm at.
I think
We're
it's
going
been
in.
on TBS and TNT at the same time at one point.
The ones where I will come in and
24 hours of Shooter.
if I'm only in, like, if it's only 20 minutes in, I might just go grab the DVD and throw it in and be like, let's go.
Well,
Start from
do
the
you-
beginning.
Do we love the name?
The title? Shooter?
Yeah.
It's fine.
It's kind of,
I feel like
Plain.
it's not quite there.
yeah.
Give me a better one. No?
I mean, Liam Neeson has one called The Marksman, which
The Shooter.
Okay, there you go. That's fair.
a shooter.
I just
My
don't
Shooter?
love Shooter by itself.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't quite feel like they got it right.
I could see that. I can see that.
It is hard because there are a ton of movies about sniper, a hitman, like a lot of the titles that you could, like you said,
The Marksman, Sniper with Billy Zane and
How
Tom
about
Berenger.
Swagger? How about if they called it Swagger? I mean, that's a ridiculous name.
We'll
isn't
run it up
Bob,
the flag.
His name is Bob Lee Swagger.
Swagger. Yeah.
Come on, that is a made up name if I've ever heard one.
Well, it's interesting that you say that.
Okay, is it not?
Well, you know, this is based on a book called
book.
Point of Impact.
Yeah.
And of
Ooh,
course,
is that a better title? Probably not. That sounds pretty generic to me.
I don't know. Point of Impact is pretty good, though.
Yeah. Okay.
that to me, I think I actually do like that better.
All right.
So I'm sure they screen tested it and everyone told them that we're wrong, but I think all three of us know that we're right. We, meaning Jelani and I. He's named after a guy. So the writer is Stephen Hunter, who is a Pulitzer Prize winning film critic for the Washington Post. That's who wrote Point of Impact. And he worked with somebody with the last name of Swagger, and that was the genesis of that name is because of that. It was like
Got
one
it.
of his friends.
There you go.
It
Last name.
wasn't Bob Lee. So if that's where your hang up is on that part, if your hang
It
up
was
is
all
on
of
Swagger,
it. But more Swagger than anything.
Swagger is actually a real name of
Yeah.
a person he worked with, and it was kind of an homage, if you will.
I used to work with a guy named Swagger.
We got Nick Memphis,
I swear.
Bob Lee Swagger.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm fine with Bob Lee Swagger. Nick Memphis, over the top. You pushed it over the top at that point.
Never play. What are the coach's rules in Teen Wolf? Like something like never play cards. with
Never
someone
play cards with a guy whose first name is a city.
Cincinnati, Red or whatever.
Well, it takes me to Memphis Reigns.
There you go.
I
Memphis
can't.
Reigns, yeah.
Memphis has been used. That's off the table.
What's his last name? In all fairness, Nick Memphis.
Memphis.
Yeah, but he's saying just
I'm
Memphis,
saying it.
the name in general.
Yeah,
What?
I'm saying it's his
Could've gone-
last name. Pena's last name in this movie.
I'm
is-
aware. Nick
All right.
is his first name.
He could have gone Nick Knoxville. Nick
Did you think it was
Nashville.
a middle name? I'm confused.
No, I'm telling you because you're saying it's Memphis is the first name.
When I heard Nick Memphis, it took me to Memphis Reigns.
I got you.
I did not. I was able to distinguish that one was the last name and one was the first name, though.
That's good. Good for you.
Nick Cookville. Nick Crossville. I'm just going to keep naming cities in Tennessee
Oh, that they could have picked instead.
instead of Memphis.
Yeah,
Nick Murfreesboro.
definitely.
This guy loves Tennessee.
This is a perfect movie. No,
Absolutely not.
but I just
It's enjoyable though.
it just feels like it hits on so many different levels. I mean, you touched on Michael Pena. Great addition to the cast there. I love me some Michael Pena.
Throw some Pena in there. Excellent.
How about
excellent
Rona?
name, man.
Oh, do I love me some Kate Mara?
More than you love Rona Mitra.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rona's.
What happened to her?
Yeah, what did
I
happen?
totally forgot
to her?
about
It's
her.
a fair question.
I'm like, was she the? I'm like, the only other movie I remember seeing her in was the Ali G movie In the House.
I
Which
don't
you
even know
guys-
if
I
I
don't know if
saw.
you guys ever
Yeah, I don't
saw
think
it
I
or not.
saw
She
that.
was so
Wait, what was
both of them are Nip Tuck alums.
Oh, okay.
But she was in a movie called Doomsday,
Yeah, that's
We're
one
like
of her
a-
known for.
post-apocalyptic.
Okay.
Looks like
Haven't
Red.
seen
You
it.
probably saw it.
She was in the Kevin Bacon Invisible Man
Okay.
movie. She was just
think I
a
did see
minor
that, too.
character in
She-
that one.
She acted in one movie in 2022, but other than that, nothing since 2020.
Yeah.
Here's a perfect example
She alive?
of why Rotten Tomatoes sometimes just gets it wrong. 48% critic score.
For
Audience
Shooter?
score? Yeah. Audience score, guess what?
80 something.
80.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It's so good. Here's the problem. People smartly want to just be entertained at the
Right.
movie when they
Just-
watch a movie.
You don't have to call out all the bullshit for this movie. Like, it's good.
All these critics are like, let's list out all the technicalities. No.
Just enjoy yourself.
Is it fun to watch like Wahlberg run around and
it's very fun.
man.
Stick himself with marinade needles.
Just
and
really like
bottles of salt water.
He's got the Conor McGregor walk slow mo.
Got a couple slow mos with the sunglasses on at the hanger, and then. So speaking of the slow mo, I laughed when after he blows up the house in Virginia and he's walking away from it.
Sure.
I just think back to the other guys. He's like, "How do people do this? It's so hot. It burns so much."
The other guys is so good.
Well, on that note, here before we go, let's dip into the Wahlberg pool that we talked about with Affleck. What are your favorite Wahlberg performances? And then we'll do the movies.
So on the Wahlberg performances, I was thinking about this as I was watching it. Is he just Wahlberg?
Yeah, that's
in
the
every
thing.
film.
Always.
I had a hard time just getting 5 because I was like, well, these 6 are all the same person. I'm pretty sure that one of mine is Shooter and one of mine's Lone Survivor. And I'm pretty sure if you told me that Bob Lee Swagger was both people, I'd be like, yeah, no, that checks out.
Yeah, I don't remember liking Lone Survivor for some reason as much.
That checks
as
out
this.
too.
Did you like it?
I did.
Yeah, but I mean, as much you prefer Shooter, right? That's all I'm saying.
I prefer
I didn't
Shooter.
dislike it.
Lone Survivor also based on a book. So my performances were, I'm going with Fear. One, mostly because it put him,
Nicole forever.
it pushed him into the world of being able to, essentially it launched his career, in my opinion. Boogie Nights, Shooter, The Other Guys, and Lone Survivor are my favorite performances.
I had Boogie Nights, the other guys as well. I put Perfect Storm, which I really want to watch.
Truthfully,
again.
I couldn't remember his performance that much. The movie, yes, but I don't remember him per se.
I didn't put it in my top movies, but just performance. And then I love Rockstar.
Okay.
It's great.
Yeah, that's
Did you say The Departed? Yeah.
not for her performance.
I
no.
prefer performance. I like his performance in there too.
Yeah, I did. I feel like he's Wahlberg in every film.
Yeah, I mean,
No, you're not wrong, and that's
fair.
I had literally I was like I had like 2, and I'm like I can't distinguish between any of these movies because it feels like it's all the same. And I'm like, I agree with you.
I think you might be right though on Fear, because I think that was him being like a villain,
Yeah.
more so than any other
Look,
role that he's been.
He's
in
not going to win an
lately.
award for it, but
Right.
I mean, it put him. He went from a rapper to being able to literally launched every other movie afterwards, and we go into his movies. It's a pretty fucking impressive resume.
Has he ever said "Say hi to your mother" for me?
Yes, I've heard it.
But I mean, honestly, The Departed and Boogie Nights are two of my like all-time favorite movies. I don't know where they rank.
All right,
but,
well, throw your other 3 movies. Okay, you put that's 2. I assume 2 of your 5.
Yep. And then The Italian Job and Three Kings.
And that's only 4.
Oh, Rockstar as well. But I already
Rockstar.
mentioned it. So Three Kings and Italian Jobs for movies. I love Three Kings. That's
Yeah.
one of my, that's I
It
love
almost
that movie
almost
too.
made my list.
Yeah.
Johnny, name yours because I feel like I know one of them that's hasn't been said yet.
So I have the Italian Job. The other guys, I really like The Big Hit. I thought it was
Oh, yeah.
silly and goofy and whatever.
I'd probably have to
that's not
rewatch
bad.
that.
I have to rewatch that.
There's someone in the trunk that I was a fan of.
Anna Kendrick?
It's not Andy Kendrick.
Apparently, I have to rewatch it.
Shooter, the other guys that I mentioned, and then Contraband.
Contraband, huh?
I don't remember
A
that
little
one.
Keith Beckinsale.
Okay,
And
Get
then
back to-
co-stars of Giovanni Ribisi and Ben Foster.
that's a solid. That's some solid good.
That's a solid
good
pull.
people. So I had Boogie Nights for movies as well. The Italian Job, we all agree. That's just fun. We've talked about it. The Departed, Shooter, and the other guys.
Do you have some honorable mentions?
I mean, I had Perfect Storm on that list, and I bumped it.
Yeah.
When the other guys, I was going by year, and when it came to other guys, I was like, well, this is in it. What's coming off? And honestly, I was like, I don't even know
You're
what
right.
to take off. So,
Yeah.
which is to the point. He's got some really freaking good movies.
He's got some good movies. I also enjoyed Four Brothers, Two Guns.
That's where I thought you were going, July.
Yeah.
Four Brothers, I thought for
Four
sure.
Brothers was decent.
Yeah, it was okay. I remember
people
watching
really like
Two
it.
Guns later on as well, and I'm like, why
Wait,
did I sleep on this?
Guys, hold on. Two
Guns
Guns, Three Kings, Four Brothers.
One Fear. I don't know.
We're missing.
We
I
need
mean,
a one.
and a 5.
Lone Shooter, Lone Survivor. Lone Survivor. He
That's
needs
what
a
we
5.
should have done. We should have done the 1, 2, 3, 4 Wahlberg. That would have been good. Good episode.
Guys, is there a 5 coming in here? I gotta feel like Wahlberg's like got a subliminal
Just a,
movie career happening.
Get to hit 10 movies and then
Who else is talking about this?
This is gold.
Gold, Jerry
Podcast
Gold.
gold. Renaissance Man is also one that I kind of like. It's
From back in the day? Danny
Danny
DeVito?
DeVito.
At the
Mark Wahlberg
Razzie?
pretty early on.
Wow, I don't know.
Yeah, he's
He's like he's a teacher. In the,
ROTC?
yeah.
Or like
Or I think
cadet
it's actual
teacher. Yeah, they're
army,
in the
but they're
army.
like the misfits in the army.
Yeah.
Probably not a good movie, but I remember
remember
not
watching
hating-
it too.
Not hating it. And
Okay.
kind of,
Not hating it's something. After a while. All right, sorry to diverge here.
not at all.
I did want to mention. So I loved the premise of the I guess the premise of the movie. I love the idea of them essentially setting him up by approaching him and having him scout. Like how this would happen. I was like, maybe that's why I love it, because that's just a really well fleshed out idea. And they come back immediately later and they're like, look, we have visuals of him in these cities. Like, yeah, man, that's great. They did it. Martin's not buying
I
this.
agree. I was just thinking.
The shit-eating grin over there. Moldy bread.
I was just thinking about, watching it the second time. Like, how does he feel about killing the people that they sent were probably not bad guys, right? Like, weren't they just other Marines?
Soldiers?
Soldiers?
They were all mercenaries.
They were coming
You
for
think
him.
they were all murdered? Okay, that makes you feel better.
know when you take the job.
Oh, the
You
Mercs.
know what you're getting into.
Oh, yeah. That's just a bunch of Mercs rolling through.
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes you feel better. I feel like it was
It's like the construction
official-
workers on the Death
I
Star.
thought it was like a.
Well,
You knew what you signed
that
up
was
for.
Clerks, right?
yes. No, here's the thing. And you touched on this earlier. You set the pod off with this.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to care about them at all, because he is the original John Wick.
Yeah.
They killed his dog.
He killed his dog.
Yeah, he's got reasons to just go after everybody.
You think he's gonna? You can send over any
yeah.
person from the
Scorched
military.
earth for sure.
Yeah, I mean, guys, and what I saw was the original pick for this movie was Keanu. I think Keanu was always fighting for a dog revenge killer movie.
He's like, what if they kill my dog and I like get really mad?
I'll just be like a peckerwood from the hills.
But Keanu, yeah, they're about the same caliber actor, right? But
Probably.
they make some really fucking good movies.
I think Wahlberg's maybe a tick above.
Wow.
Wow.
I think he's got a little bit more range.
Yeah.
We haven't really seen Keanu do a comedy.
That's probably true. Is he
Nothing's
funny in
come
anything?
to mind.
I mean, other than like Bill
Bill and
Ted's.
Ted's. Yeah, I love Bill and Ted's.
Sorry, other than this really, really popular family.
Yeah, but he wasn't like hilarious in it. It was more
Right.
that he
Whereas
was, like,
Wahlberg is...
Wahlberg's done several.
Yeah, he's yeah.
Ted, he's done,
Oh, no, Wahlberg, yeah. And
other guys.
the other guys alone, to me,
Yeah,
like...
Yeah, that alone puts him on another level. That's a really good movie.
I'm not wrong.
So, okay, it's Wahlberg.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wahlberg is
by-
way better than Keanu. It's been said.
Yeah. It is written. I think what I love about it is it pulls in some of that like heist, I don't know heist, but like the mystery solving aspects where you like, you see Nick Memphis at the office and he's like, he's like still sitting there. He's like, hey, we got all these things, 20 minutes later. And they're like, oh, well, that's all the agencies. Like, we work for the government. We're good. We're not that good. And you like start to see it like unravel and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
all these people. And then of course, obviously when they go to Virginia and he like lights that whole place up with like the homemade equipment and they teaches Nick how to shoot and all that stuff.
To the guy from John Wick, right? Wasn't
Oh, the wheelchair?
Baba Yaga? Yeah.
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 That's what I'm saying,
he's-
guys. Original John Wick. Their fingerprints are all over it.
Right.
Your story checks out.
Good to see Danny Glover back in the
He ain't too old for this
Back
shit.
in
I mean, it was so obvious, right, that he was going to be the bad guy.
Yeah,
but you
from
know
the
what?
get-go.
It
And
plays
he did
well.
great. Played well, bro. And,
Yeah.
and what's his name? I'm
John
gonna
Boyd?
say it
Oh,
wrong.
just kidding.
Not
Ned
Warren Beatty, but Ned Beatty.
Ned Beatty.
Ned Beatty. Such a perfect, smarmy senator.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saying these speeches of
There's an argument to be
Don't
made
you
that he
know?
was born for that role.
he was born for this role. Born to squeal like a pig and born for this role.
We had our man Casey Jones back in the screen, Elias Koteas.
Yeah.
Yeah, back.
Yeah, just a
Just-
scumbag.
Yeah, complete dirtball.
Dirtball.
I don't want to touch on the gross parts of this, but he did more than just beat up Kate Mara, right?
Yeah.
Because she doesn't
They were there
just
for a
shoot him
while.
like that.
They were there for a while.
Probably.
Yeah.
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 That's probably what we're meant to.
I mean,
meant to-
her shirt was off after it was on
Yeah.
while she was bound. But yeah,
Okay. As I figured, just
Probably
the way that
yeah.
she retaliated, and then
yeah.
obviously him getting just disintegrated, like shot fingers off, and then
yeah,
his
that was-
arm blown
that
off.
makes, makes that more satisfying when you think about that.
Some
way.
great sniper shots too. Just
Yeah, that's what
like,
I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, man.
supernatural sniper shots. Pretty
Just
fun.
lean in.
I know, I like it. I'm
he
here
knows
for
the
it.
humidity, the elevation,
Yeah,
the
the
wind.
spin of the earth. You gotta get all this stuff.
At that distance,
Right.
you got to calculate for
100%.
for everything.
What do you think these guys do out there?
You got to change. You got to go click 2 clicks, not just one.
What? Okay, so our country bumpkin gun expert that they go visit.
Levon Helm.
Levon Helm.
Yeah, what? Well, how is that
How do you
him?
know him?
Why? Yeah, why is he?
I didn't
In this
know.
movie.
Yeah, I didn't know that was him. Apparently, I've seen the band perform and I've seen him sing, but
For
I
sure.
had no idea.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
Why is he in this movie?
I don't know, but he did great. I thought
Because he's a musician turned actor. You got to have him. Got to have more than
He
one.
is awesome in this movie. He's
he
like,
was great. He was like one of my favorite parts.
as soon as you're there, you're like, why isn't he in more stuff?
And just he's checking his hands,
Right.
like whatever he's doing.
Here's the thing.
feeling for calluses.
Yeah.
That's
he's
what he was
feeling for
doing.
Calluses on the one. But here's the thing. With Memphis, he just grabs his arm and then fives
Slaps
him.
it. Yeah.
But it's with Wahlberg, it's a feel. It's a real feel.
You're right.
The one with Nick Memphis is so random. It just grabs the arm, boom, gone, and it's
Yeah.
like, what?
I think
Jen said
I
the
think he
same-
felt baby skin right away.
Right. I think that's what it is too.
He's like never
He knew
worked a
it.
day in his life.
He knew it as soon as he touched him.
Yeah, that's
There's
what I
no
think.
calluses there. But Jen said the same thing. She's like, Did you just give him 5? Like for giving him the book?
But grabs the wrist to do it. I'm like, was that my play now?
I just like when he's like, yeah, I put it up there 15 years ago. I don't think it's moved since.
If you do
That's
it to
great.
somebody now, you get punched in the face, I think. It's
R.I.P.
right, but he calls it too. He says he's like, oh, could someone shoot for 2,200 yards? Like I heard about a guy named Bob Lee Swagger that did that, but
Do you
never-
think he
never
knew?
met the man?
Do you
Yeah,
think
I
he
think
knew
he did.
that's
Ooh, I don't.
Oh, you don't?
No, I choose to believe he did not.
yeah.
okay.
That it's just he just heard of him and he doesn't know that that's
I
who
think
he's
that's why
in
they
his
both
house.
had like
It
knowing
would
grins.
feel like he was dialed in enough to know that when he was there that you're the guy that everyone in the country is looking for.
Yeah.
Should have been harder to maneuver to get from cross country.
Again, that was my it's not a Tate technicality, but it is.
You're on a multi-day manhunt for an assassination of the president.
Yeah.
And the guy, he's in
Just-
Virginia one day and he's in Montana the next.
Bozeman, right. Bozeman, Montana from Virginia. Like that's a hell of a drive.
That's a drive.
That ain't a drive, that's for sure.
They did it. They drove because the truck's on the side of the road. But
True. You know what I always loved too about this movie? It's so unnecessary, but that last crystal clear shot of the car coming from the mountain range, just that picturesque range. I get it, but why you gotta drive in the middle? There's no traffic, that's fine, but like everyone knows you drive on one like yeah, like you're not fooling anybody. You don't need to play Pac-Man at the end of the freaking movie.
maybe there's a tractor coming. He had to play chicken with it.
Martin's got nothing.
I got nothing.
No? Footloose?
Footloose? Yeah, I followed you.
Just had nothing for it.
Nothing, huh? Yeah. Anyway, I was. It made me question if I should read the book. I was like, oh shit, I like
If you
this.
like it that much,
I like
yeah.
this movie a lot. I'm like, I feel like I should. I feel like it's a necessary thing to do.
Kind of like Jelani should read the Die Hard book, even though it's like nothing like Die Hard apparently.
What is that?
It's like the
Roderick Thorpe's.
yeah.
What is it called? The book.
You're right there. You got the
Yeah, whatever.
Towering Inferno. No.
So I was looking through the director for this. Do you guys know who the director is?
Oh, Fuqua.
Ben Affleck. No, yeah.
Oh,
It's
cool, guys.
Anton Fuqua.
Yeah.
Nothing
And,
lasts forever.
What's that?
A Die Hard book.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But Fuqua had also directed. I didn't know he directed the Replacement Killers with Wahlberg and Chow Yun Fat.
I don't think I knew that either.
I didn't know that. I thought that was
So then
John Woo or something.
I was looking through his. That's what I would have figured, right?
Chow Yun Fat.
Um,
Good guess.
John Woo or something should just be like its own thing.
and then I was looking through Antoine Fuqua's like resume, and
Discography.
yeah, I mean, obviously we know the big one is Training Day.
Yeah.
And then he worked with Denzel a lot. He not obviously, but he wasn't the director for Two Guns, which is Denzel and Wahlberg.
Couldn't bring them together.
No, tried. But the reason I bring it up was because he is the executive producer of Mayor of Kingstown.
That's Renner.
Yeah. So you have our previous director, Gavin O'Connor, Mayor of Easttown, and then Fuqua, Mayor
Mayor.
Mayor of Kingstown. So
And he did the Equalizers.
Yes.
yeah, did I not say that?
No.
Did you? Oh, man.
No,
I think
you-
I did.
Not out loud.
He seems to
Check
be
the tape.
more of a producer than a director these days, huh? I see a
You
lot of.
just get some money and you're just like, what?
Yeah,
You know what's what's easier?
I'll produce that shit.
Not doing that part.
Right.
I'll just pay you to do it.
Yep, and just make the money.
Have you watched any other like sniper type movies like this?
I've
Like,
probably
have you
seen
seen
them all,
Sniper?
but yeah.
Is that Berenger?
Berenger.
Berenger and Billy Zane?
Is
Pretty sure
Billy
I've
Zane
seen
in the
that.
first one?
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like there's like 2 or 3 of those.
There's like 6.
yeah,
of
they
them.
go deep. I mean, we obviously talked about
How about American Sniper? But yeah,
That's-
Sniper from '93. I have.
That's
seen
Bradley
that one.
Cooper, right?
Yeah.
American Sniper?
Yeah,
is that the one that's based on the true story?
yeah.
Yeah, the guy who got
There's like 7
killed.
of them that are all based on true stories, right? Because isn't Lone Survivor based on a true story?
Correct. Yes, in a book of a guy who
Right. Yeah, I think American Sniper was Clint Eastwood and Bradley Cooper, right? Clint Eastwood directed it.
Oh, yeah, I think so. That's right.
Looking at the all sniper movies in IMDb, Shooter's number 1, no doubt.
Fair enough.
Enemy at the Gates is number 2. I've seen that. Jude Law and Ed Harris,
yes,
Joseph Fiennes. That's a good one. I don't know if I would ever like rank it that. I would definitely not rank it that high.
I
But
feel like I watched that at your place when you lived in Oak Park,
Oh, yeah?
like on a movie night or something. It's the thing that weirded me out was like Jude Law and whoever the romantic interest is.
Rachel Weisz.
They had they have a sex scene like amongst a bunch of dead bodies.
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
Ranger remembers. I remember seeing it. I don't remember.
Well,
the movie
it's
at
either
all.
that or a bunch of people are dying.
Dying, yeah.
And essentially,
It was very
they're
weird.
not. And Jude Law and Rachel Weisz aren't.
Very weird.
Phone Booth with Colin Farrell is number 3, which is also
Kiefer
very
Sutherland.
weird.
Oh, yeah.
The
That movie was
American
not
with
very
Clooney 4, never seen.
good. Oh, yeah. You haven't seen The
Wait,
American?
you know,
You probably have.
I feel like I did. It was not that good.
It wasn't great. It was kind of
It's better
slow.
than the Mexican with Brad
Snipe.
Pitt.
Ooh, I'm a fan. I got that DVD in the bin.
Pretty sure I saw that with you in college.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Snipers 5 with Berenger. Sniper Reloaded, Elephant White, Sniper 2, Sniper 3.
Sniper 4,
The
5.
the Marksman. You said
Neeson.
stars Wesley Snipes.
Oh, then that's a different one.
It's from 2005.
The Marksman?
Yeah. I mean, it could definitely be two.
There is a
different movies.
21 Marksman. as
It's
well.
Marksman. Maybe
But it is.
there a-
no, it's Marksman.
Okay.
Marksman.
There's a plural.
2005 and 2021.
I've never heard of 2-minute warning, targets, the sniper, straight shooter. I mean, I don't. Jack Reacher's on there. Jarhead. Saving Private Ryan. Great sniper. What's our
Scene.
guy? Roger Maris.
Oh, Barry Pepper.
Pepper. Yeah,
Have you guys ever seen Full Metal Jacket?
I have, but it's been a while.
What? Full Metal Jacket?
Full Metal Jacket.
No.
What do you think? What are you thinking? I'm saying. I don't get it.
Yeah, why are you being weird?
I have seen it.
Oh.
Who hasn't seen it?
Oh, well,
I don't know.
geez, I don't know. That's a fair question. You made it
there's
sound
lots
like
of movies you haven't seen.
Yeah, but
I'm
Full
not
Metal
gonna
Jacket.
judge.
Johnny, you haven't seen movies you own.
Yeah, right.
Full Metal Jacket is a pretty big one to not.
I don't know where you're like coming at me real hot
It's
right
like
now.
one of Stanley Kubrick's biggest films.
Yeah, but based off the
Yeah.
movies that you haven't seen that have been very surprising, I don't think it's weird
I
at
would
all.
not be surprised if you said I've heard of it. Yes, but I haven't seen it.
I don't
I'm
think
sorry.
you would have been surprised if either one of us said
Yeah,
we
if you
hadn't
guys,
seen it.
yeah. I didn't know you were a big Kubrick fan.
I think
I
I've-
love Kubrick.
I think I've seen it once.
Vincent
there's just-
D'Onofrio.
Yeah. It's. I mean, great. See, but the second half of it is why I bring it up because they have that sniper that's just picking them all off, and they finally get her, and it's just like a kid.
What about the Jackal?
Oh yeah, with Bruce Willis and Jack
Is
Black.
that based on the Day
of the Jackal? It's
The
a
Day of
remake.
Jackal. Day of the Jackal, really good. We're going to do it on the pod sometime.
Some point. Prove
Yeah.
it. Assassins, Stallone and
Stallone
Banderas. I've seen that.
Yeah, I
Sharon
remember that
Stone?
being bad.
Am I thinking? No, Julianne Moore. Sharon Stone and
Sharon
Stallone
Stone
is
is-
a different one.
is The Specialist.
Specialist. God, I
Yeah.
can't believe I mixed those up. Leon the Professional. Day of the Jackal.
Oh, Leon the
23rd.
Professional. Yes. How is that not number one? That's such a good movie.
But not so much a sniper.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Sniper. This is, I don't know
He's
how.
more
to-
of just an assassin, right?
Right.
Hitman.
But that wasn't really.
Gross
a
Point
test.
Blank. Those are Hitman.
Yeah.
They're not
now
sniper.
we're getting a little.
Anytime they have a sniper rifle, they're
Exactly.
they're
One
not.
guy carries a sniper rifle.
We're getting a little light.
Anyway, I don't know. I'm fans. I like them all.
Yeah.
Prove. Find the lie.
And you've seen Full Metal Jacket, so it's
I
good.
have, and let's not argue about it. No big deal either way.
As always, remember that our Film Fathers is different, and sooner or later, different scares people. Thanks. Save it for the pod.